You do have a quorum, and we are ready to go.
We're ready to rock. Okay. Okay, everyone, welcome and good afternoon welcome to the April 28th meeting of the Rappahannock-Rapidan Regional Commission. Okay, you need to read the following. That due to the nature of the declared state of emergency due to COVID-19, meeting of the practical unsafe Regional to assemble in a single location. You need to read the following. Acknowledging the purpose of the nature of the declared state of emergency business statutorily required meeting of the practical unsafe Regional to assemble in a single location. Acknowledging the purpose of the nature of the declared state of emergency audio and video. Welcome to the April Regional to assemble in a single location. Acknowledging the purpose of the nature of the declared state of audio and video. Welcome to the April
So when the governor declared the state of emergency,
Move to approve. Second.
All right, any discussion on that? Not all in favor of adoption of the minutes from February 24th. say aye. All right, any discussion on that? Not all in favor of adopting the minutes for February 24th meeting. Now we move on to the good stuff, the financial reports. Patrick, would you review the year-to-date financial report, and in particular those items that are part of the proposed budget? The good stuff, the financial reports. Patrick, would you review the year-to-date financial report, and in particular those items that are part of the proposed budget? The good stuff, the financial reports. Patrick, would you review the year-to-date financial report, and in particular those items that are part of the
So item 8A is the fiscal year 2021, the year-to-date financial reports, and there are some requested budget amendments included there. So item 8, 75% of the year, the fiscal year 2021, the year-to-date financial reports, and 75% of the year, we're at 85% of budgeted revenue, 68% of budgeted expenses, so we're in very good shape there. A lot of that has to do with, again, the normal flow of revenues coming in, while the fourth quarter will spend down some of the revenues that are in good shape there, just through payroll and other ongoing expense items. What I would say is also we've got some expense items that are budgeted and are sort of aimed at budget line items that because of the pandemic are not what I would say is also that by the end of the year finish the year with a small net budgeted and are sort of aimed at budget line items. The proposed amendments that are in front of you today are outlined on the vote here. So we've got the addition of the Rappahannock County CARES Act Business Assistance Program, something that the revenues and the expenses have already been taken care of and been in and out. The addition of the amendment, the last budget year was in October. So that's the addition of $90,400 expenses and $88,650 in expenses. Because of timing in terms of contract staff spending and just other project expenses, we had added a line item for because of National Fish and Wildlife Foundation Bay grant for $30,000 in the current fiscal year. We actually just got a contract back from NIFLA just earlier this fund and exceeded that. So we're not likely to receive. We actually just got a contract here. Those will be received in full in the next 2 fiscal years. Similar to that, on the VDEM, the wildfire analysis grant, which is a small grant that we have to be received this year. Again, we started work on that, but it's unlikely that similar to that, on the VDEM, the wildfire analysis grant, which is a small grant that we have to be received. And then for the one change in a project, we talked about our reported a couple times in February and then back in December that the rideshare program grant for the public transportation, there's reduced revenues this year. We originally had $140,000. That's been reduced by about rideshare program grant. All of those revenues would be pass-through expenses in terms of advertising and other contractual expenses. So it's not there's no impact on the commission for all of the payroll or staff, but it does reflect in advertising on the contractual expenses. So it's not and the only other thing on the expenditures was a couple of minor changes just based on spending in terms of rural transportation grant program, project expenses as well. And the only other thing on the expenditures project minor changes. It's not that we won't be receiving all of those reimbursement revenues, but that the project expenses from project expenses back to staff. It's not that we won't be receiving all of those reimbursements. I'm happy to answer any questions on the budget as a whole or on the proposed amendments as well. It's not that we won't be receiving all of those reimbursements. I'm happy to answer any questions on the budget as a whole or on the proposed amendments as well.
All right, then if nobody has any questions or issues, we are looking for a motion to adopt the amended FY 2021. All right, then if nobody has any questions or issues, we are looking for a motion and second. Any further comments? Not, I guess we need a roll call.
Second.
Mr. Ashby.
Aye.
Motion and second. Any further comments?
Mayor Catlin.
Not, I guess we need a roll call.
Mayor Pointer.
Aye. Second.
Mr. Curry. Mr. Ashby.
Aye.
Mr. Curry. Mayor Catlin.
Aye.
Mr. Beal. Mayor Pointer.
Aye.
Mr. Curry. Mr. Donahue.
Aye.
Mr. Eggerson. Mayor Catlin.
Aye.
Mr. Beal. Mr. Hydley.
Aye.
Mr. Hobbs. Donahue.
Aye.
Mayor Lamar.
Aye.
Mr. Hydley.
Aye.
Mayor Rose.
Aye.
Mayor Lamar.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Scaling.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Voorhees. Mayor Rose.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, Mr. Woods?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye.
Keeping along with budget, we have the preliminary FY22
Aye.
agency budget. Staff has developed the budget ahead of the June 1st requirement by bylaws, although changes are likely between now and our June meeting and no action being requested today. Staff has developed the budget ahead of the Patrick 1st requirements by bylaws, although changes are
Sure, I
likely
do,
between
and
now and our
the
June
one
meeting
thing, or a couple things I would say is that, again, we're in good shape in terms of having expected revenues. Actually, even at this point in time, we've got expected revenues. I would say is that we're in 39,600. Good shape in terms of having and then expenditures are just a little bit below that, 1,226,746. Some of that, I've talked to the chair and also had a conversation with the treasurer, and some of that potential surplus that's in the budget right now. We've got a couple of grant items out there that may make use of that. And I think we can find that potential as well. But it's always good, in my opinion, to be able to present to you all a budget with more expected revenues than expenses, taking into account our current staffing levels. It's always good, everything else that I need to go on through. So, main thing I would say is this is largely in thanks to the good work of staff in terms of finding revenue sources and expanding programs. We actually, I would say is this is a drastic improvement program from UDOT and Department of Rail and Public Transportation. We saw an increase in our funding for mobility management. We actually a lot of that will be pass-through expenses, but improvement program with our mobility management work and expand call centers that potentially expand by a management position, which is needed and something that we want to help. And that's again in large part because of the work that we've done in building that relationship and showing, to the Department of Rail and Public Transportation that again a large program that has been built here, and actually the only location in Virginia right now that does have that call center in operation for mobility management. A couple other things, like I mentioned, the NIFWIC grant where we've got vacation revenues that will come in for the next 2 fiscal years. And as well as a couple other things, like I mentioned, on housing allocation revenues as well. So, all in all, I'm pleased with where the budget is right now. My expectation would be potentially an executive committee review at the end of May. All in all, I'm bringing it back to you in June with where the budget is minor revisions, but we'll see what else might be added. Potentially an executive committee review between now and June. So, I'm happy to answer questions if you have them. Obviously, at this point, and certainly in between now and June, if questions arise. Executive committee review between now and June to respond to those. I'm happy to answer questions if you have them. Obviously, at this point, certainly in between now and June, if questions arise.
I guess it's all such good news.
I'm happy to answer questions if you have them. Obviously, at this point,
Anybody got any comments, questions? I guess it's all such good news. Keep you going with your director's report. Anybody got any comments?
Yeah, and we have several staff presentations coming up, so I'll try to stick to the things that are separate from anything later on the agenda. One thing I would say is that we're pleased we are able to currently hiring for try to stick to the things that are separate from anything. This will be the third one thing I would say is position to work with the commission the past 4 years or so. I think as I've relayed in the past, this is a really good program for us because typically the administrative work and the effort and years of securing the funding is, I think it's the Virginia Housing Alliance. VISTA is a Virginia Housing Alliance is sort of the agency that coordinates with them and administers the VISTA program for loan services or for affordable housing efforts, which is what we're targeting. Virginia Housing Alliance, but we provide basically an office space and office equipment and utility systems to really support a lot of what we're doing. So it's a very positive relationship with the commission in terms of a little effort in part of our staff here, but not having to outlay the funds for such positive relationship with the commission in terms of we're currently hired for that. That's posted on our website. Part of our staff here, therefore, not to outlay the portal, which is funds for such also say that the regional transportation collaborative, which I talked about, that's the sort of the evolution of the Foothills Area Mobility System, the FAMS program. Also say that the transportation collaborative, transportation options for seniors and individuals with disabilities at the end of March. That's again live stream and transportation that want to. Certainly would be something I'd encourage you to share with any of your partners and your localities that might be looking at live stream. All the volunteer transportation programs certainly would be something I'd encourage you to share. Public transportation, Virginia Regional Transit, as well as just care, which or motive care, which is all Medicaid provider. So lots of good information there. Public transportation, community services, as well as agency care, which is motive care, which is all Medicaid provider. I did mention briefly the 6-year improvement program is available for comment right now. Through VDOT and DRPT, there was a virtual public meeting for the Fulton District last Thursday. What I would say, from my perspective, there's good news for the Commission and virtual programs that we have. That would also encourage all of them to look through just for any other projects that might be in there from my perspective. This is sort of an off year, and there's no smart scale. Excuse me, there are smart scale projects included. This is an off year from the transportation alternatives. Kind of sort of an off year, and there's no smart scale. The ones that have the application. Excuse me, there are smart scale projects included. This is an off year. Also mentioned the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant. So we're happy to report that there was a kickoff meeting with our partners in Fauquier County. Also mentioned the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant. So we're happy to the Rappahannock and just Conservancy that was a kickoff meeting. So everyone's generally aware of their roles and responsibilities. This is going to be a real Rappahannock for not only some of the work that we've done through our grants for Pay and Big Watershed, but also for Warrenton and for Fauquier County to get some on the ground. Not only some of the work on getting done, put in some DMP grants around a couple of locations around the town, but also for Warrenton as well. So I'm happy that funding came in, and I think that really sets up for potential for additional opportunities in the future beyond the other as well. I'm happy that funding came in. And the last thing I just did want to report that previously the Commission had approved an application to EDM for an update of our hazard mitigation plan. It was sort of a process that went back and forth in the fall and ended with the Commission application going in. What we found out in February was that, in March, was sort of an overall funding available for planning activities was limited, and so the state has other. We found out that mitigation plans that in March was sort of a dates where they have to be updated by. So we're not approved for this year, but it is something that other work has already been done. So going forward, that'll be something where by the end of the summer we'll have another application. We're not approved for this year, but it is something that other work just are a little bit of delay. The update for hazard mitigation, that'll be our system expire in December 2020. Plenty of time there. And the last thing I'll mention is just what is included with the director's report, which is a memo that I shared with the county administrators and town managers last month on redistricting. And the last thing I'll mention is just trying to break down some of the changes that were in place 10 years ago and share the timeline issues related to last month on census delays this year. So I'm happy to answer questions if you have them now, to ask them later on that. I'm certainly willing to talk with any of your localities on redistricting, even if it's just talking about the process that you right now. That information is there just for your information to talk with any of your localities on redistricting, even if it's just talking about.
Does anyone have any questions about anything in particular on the report? Does anyone have any questions about anything in particular? All right. We will move on then to updates from staff. We have an update on the Foothill Housing Network from the coordinator, Rebecca Ware. We will move on then to updates from staff.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So I am going to start with letting you know about the numbers for the 2021 point in time count. And this is a count that we are mandated to conduct for the Foothills region by HUD. And it's once a year, just to let you know, on one night of the year. So I just want to put a disclaimer out there that it does not have a one night. For those of you who may not know exactly what it is, it does not necessarily give a very accurate reflection because it is one night of the year. However, it is what we have as far as our numbers for this count. The total was 236 individuals, 6 of whom were unsheltered. This also does not include any numbers from the county of Rappahannock, because we did not have any participating organizations in this year's count. The total adults was 144, single adults, so not within a household with children, was 94. The total number of children, 92, so not within a household, and households with children, 47. The total number of children, the largest number being served via emergency shelters or non-congregate emergency shelters, meaning through hotels that our service providers were able to partner with. The top 3 self-reported reasons for homelessness: eviction, asked to or forced to leave previous living situation, or lease not being renewed by the landlord was the top one. Number 2 was unemployed or underemployed, and 3 was domestic or sexual violence. For the county total, number 2 was for Culpeper County, the total individuals were 113. For the county total single adults, 53. Households with children, 23. The total number of children were 37, of which 17 were school age. The total individuals who self-identified as Black or African American were 52, with white or Caucasian being 48, and in Culpeper, over the age of 60, were 10 of those adults. Self-identified with mental health or substance use disorder, 16, and self-identified with developmental or physical disability, 8. For Fauquier, the total individuals, 117, single adults, 35, households with children, 27, children, 55, of which 38 were school age. Individuals self-identifying as Black or African American were 56, with white or Caucasian being 42. And over the age of 60 were 8. Self-identified with mental health or substance use disorder were 14, and for developmental or physical disability were 6. In Orange, we did not have, because we are not using any hotels in Orange, and there is not a shelter in Orange, there was a observation only count done due to COVID. So there were 3 unsheltered individuals in Orange, and then in Madison it was the same number, 3 unsheltered individuals. Madison again not using any hotels or shelters, being in Madison. Not using any. If there's any questions regarding that, I can answer them, or I can move on. If there's any questions regarding that,
I think, Rebecca, the only thing I would say, just for some additional context, is it is a higher number than we've seen in past years. But again, I think, Rebecca, part of that is because there is the funding is flowed in, because it is a higher individuals that would otherwise be unsheltered and congregate sheltered in that non-congregate shelter because it is a higher individuals that we'll see how it trends, as the rest of this year goes on. in next year. We know that's one of the reasons why we'll see how it's spread this year. This year goes on.
Yes, I definitely agree, but I would like to say that the numbers are only about I definitely 28, but I higher, so still over 200, which is where we've been, where we were last year. And then the year prior was 198. So it's not a huge difference, but we do recognize definitely that the pandemic has added. Huge difference, but we do recognize definitely the next thing I just want to bring up is for the balance of state local planning group, the COVID-19 funding that was part of the packet. I just wanted to mention in the total for emergency shelter operations, it did not include $45,000 in donated or local grant funding. The local grant funding coming from both the Northern Piedmont Foundation and the Culpeper Wellness Foundation. Excuse me. And then on the last page of that report, the DHCD State Housing Trust Fund allocation, that is the most recent amount that we've received for the region, and that is assumed to take us through June 30th. We have not heard from DHCD, and that is really what the plans are, what the hopes are for any continuance of being able to provide shelter for non-congregate shelter for individuals after June 30th. We do kind of go through this every 3 to 4 months where we don't know if we are going to receive funding, and then we do, but as more people are vaccinated and the weather is warmer, we're really not sure how that is going to play out. And the last thing that I wanted to mention was we do have through another grantee, People Inc., a housing navigator, housing locator position that is working for our communities to basically locate and build partnerships and relationships with owners and landlords. There are landlord incentives out there that are pretty good, honestly, in order to get landlords more comfortable with the idea of renting to individuals who maybe have significant barriers. And I would just like to end by making a little plug that if you or others that you know in your personal lives or in your public lives know any landlords that might be interested in some of these incentives, please have them call the commission and ask for it. Thank you. Interested in some of these incentives, please have them call.
That's good to know, especially I think a lot of us know people that have potentially have available spaces and may not be able to stay. So that's good to know, especially does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, Gary Curry of Rappahannock. You noted that there weren't any organizations this year to participate. Can you give me some insight on what organizations may have participated in the past? Has this been an annual issue, and how can we work together to resolve that? Can you give me some insight on what
Thank you for your question. This definitely has not been an annual issue. I think what my assumption is we have always had Rappahannock Department of Social Services as the organization who has assisted during the point in time now. However, they had just received notice from the director that she was going to be stepping down, and they had not filled that position yet. So I don't think this was on this was on anybody's radar necessarily. But in the past, we have not had an issue.
Great, thank you. Yeah, we have seated a new director, so we'll make sure we coordinate in the future.
Thank you. But in the past, we have not had an issue.
Anyone else?
Great, thank you. Yeah, we have seated a new director, so we'll make sure we coordinate in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But in the past, we have not had an issue.
Love to hear one day where
Great,
these
thank you.
numbers
Yeah,
are
we have seated a new director, so we'll make sure we coordinate.
zero. Thank you very much. We'll get there one day. Love to hear one day where these numbers are.
We have seated a new director.
Regional Commission adopted its first regional long-range transportation plan in 2011. Love to hear one day. There's an updated project. Regional Commission adopted its first long-range transportation plan.
Yeah, I can. Trying to think, maybe one or two of you was here in 2011, the first long-range transportation plan we adopted, but what we have done and what's included in your packet, maybe one or two of them down here in 2011. So what's included in your packet for the long-range transportation update is a memo that was also delivered to local planning staff, members of our rural transportation committee, and also county long-range transportation kind of seeking feedback in terms of the planning projects that are currently shown on the plan, and also a couple of things that I would want to note here. We've significantly revamped the inclusion of projects this time around. The previous plan that was developed years ago, the process for funding transportation significantly back then was essentially, locally have some discussions with previous plan of elected officials. I hear a lot of the process for funding transportation. This intersection, this corridor, we need to do something about it. And then, lobby the Commonwealth Transportation Board and officials and others for getting that project to this intersection, this corridor, we need to do something about it. When Smart Scale was introduced 5 years ago or so, that really changed the way that projects were identified, certainly the way projects were funded. So we tried to tailor this project plan update to incorporate the funding mechanisms that are in place now in terms of projects that are identified projects, how also to identify projects that might be fair well in Smart Scale and the other funding sources. So really the request for you all today is just consider looking through what's going down with transportation. So transportation webpage that shows has the draft plan as of February 21 there. Also has links to the transportation needs and all the other existing where the project locations are. As well as just some of the background information on the rural transportation and also other meetings. But if you don't hear about this elsewhere, I think that's really our as well. Just let us know, frankly, if there are other projects locally that might be something that we could show up at the safety meter crash game. Just let us know, which might be a project priority that might be something that should be, I think, show up here at safety meter. The other thing I would say might be a project priority memo that again send out to the county and the largest counties and staff. The other thing I would say might be this on that was that good response so far. And this will likely be a process that we hopefully will be this plan of the projects that we're doing so far on the off years for the Smart Scale. So, and this will, as I said, Smart Scale is sort of wrapping up through the long-term improvement programs in the last round. There won't be applications taken in next year. That's sort of our goal. So, as I said, Smart Scale is sort of wrapping up through the long-term programs in the last round of Smart Scale. So, on the off years, it's taken in next year. That's sort of a similar process again. So, again, certainly I'm happy to answer any questions. So we're seeing your drafting the plan documents and come back to that as well. So we're happy to answer questions today. If there's a reason to come out and talk to your governing body at some point in office, we're happy to as well. So we're happy to answer questions today. If there's a reason to come out and talk to your happy to answer questions governing body at some point in office. And we'll expect to be back probably in August. Answer questions today. Final draft version for this. Yeah, happy to answer questions governing body at some point in office. And we'll expect to be back probably in August.
Anyone have anything?
With the final draft version of this.
Chance the draft comes.
And we'll expect to be back probably in August.
Anyone have anything?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Gary Deal here, Chairman, Culpeper County.
Anyone have anything?
Madam Chair, Patrick, I don't have any questions about smart scale or any of the projects, but Chairman, as far as the revenue sharing, we talked about this before, and our county administrator, John Eggerson, may want to weigh in too on this, but from a VDOT perspective and John Eggerson county jurisdiction, we're having to wait until the year 25 or 26 right now as it stands for revenue sharing as far as the match component. And we're trying to move that up right now. And Greg Yates, who is our representative on the Commonwealth Transportation Board, is lobbying hard to do that. We're trying to think he has several counterparts on the Commonwealth Transportation Board as well that are in favor of that. And to me and to a lot of other people, it doesn't make any sense to have stimulus money coming in to the jurisdictions for infrastructure and not having revenue sharing available within the next year or two in the jurisdiction. So can the regional commission lobby as well the Commonwealth Transportation Board within the next year maybe assist us with that technique, trying to get the Commonwealth Transportation Board to move that schedule up. And John, you may want to weigh in on this since you were on the phone conversation the other day with the Commonwealth Transportation Board. And John, you may want to weigh in on this since you were
I did participate in the virtual public hearing the other day. And Mr. Deal summed it up pretty well. It's just a matter of, revenue sharing funds have been approved, but because of what the state, perceived as shortfalls, they're being held back till 2025, 2026. And it does appear now that all the reports I've seen, the state's revenues are up much more than they thought they would be. And so Commonwealth Transportation Board member Yates is trying to find a way to get some of those funds moved to revenue sharing so we can advance those projects sooner. And it seemed to be on the virtual meeting that they were listening. We're just going to keep, banging that drum. And so, any other jurisdictions or the commission as a whole wants to support us, and going to keep, banging that drum.
John, or Gary, do you have
any other
letters submitted formally to them that a template? Because I think that, it seems something certainly we can sit on that in response to the submitted formally to them that template.
I think that the comment period for those virtual hearings is still open if you want to submit in writing. And my planning director is crafting a letter, so perhaps I can share that with you, Patrick, and maybe we can have a letter from the commission as well. Crafting a letter, so perhaps I can share that with you, Patrick, and
I think it is
and have a letter from
some
the
support
commission as well.
Madam Chair. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, John, if you could send us a copy of that memo, we'd like it too. That was all.
Will do.
Madam Chair.
I'll give it to Patrick and perhaps he
I
can
was just going to
distribute
say,
it.
John, if you could send us a copy of that memo, we'd like it too. That was all.
Was that your question?
Will do.
Madam Chair.
I'll give it
No,
to
ma'am. I
Patrick
had,
and perhaps he can distribute
we
it.
had talked about this a little bit before, and I have already drafted that letter as well as sample language. And we did have a meeting with Senator Vogel on that, and she has agreed to kind of help shepherd some of that language. So I'm happy to connect and coordinate with John on getting the elected officials on the same page on where the town of Warrenton is. For the most part, when we first started talking about this, coordinate with John on everybody is elected officials impacting us on a Main Street grant. And the other thing that I met with VDOT about, and I did have a pretty big meeting with them, was my frustration that they were allowing Northern Virginia jurisdictions that have multiple projects to move some of that money up in the cycle and use it to get that project started, even though they were getting the repayment in 2024, FY25. And so they were essentially allowing them to move that money around. There was no associated impact to them, but as a small town with one major project, I wasn't given that opportunity. So I petitioned and asked if we could front the money with our stimulus money, and then at the time that the project comes due, that potentially we could get that as a reimbursement, creating the exact same operation that Northern Virginia was being given in their funding, and that was denied as well. And so that's when we started the political discussions, and I passed that off to the elected officials. And I know I did have a call with Orange about this as well, and Patrick. So I do have that letter in sample language. It sounds like John and I are both doing a little bit, so I'm happy to pass that on to John and share, and also connect the elected officials on that. I don't have anybody on the call today. I apologize, but I will get them coordinated on and share, and also connect the elected officials on that. I don't have anybody on the call today. I apologize, but I did meet with Prince William County, and they did confirm that VDOT had given them permission to take from one project that was already like a 5-year project, take year 4, move that money into year 1 of their revenue share, and then take year 1 of the revenue share and move it into year 4. They're already, it's not impacting them at all if you have multiple projects. And I think Charlottesville was given the same permission. So I said that as a region, we're being disproportionately impacted by this legislation, only having a series of smaller 1 or 2 projects. So, but I didn't get anywhere with a region, we're being disproportionately impacted by this legislation, only having a series of smaller 1 or 2 projects. So, but I didn't get anywhere with a region, we're being disproportionately impacted by this legislation.
I would say,
sorry, I just wanted to share that with you on where we were, 1 or 2 projects. So, but I didn't get anywhere with a region.
Ms. Donahue, I see your question in the chat on, I would say, driverless cars in the rural parts of Virginia. I'm certainly happy to if the commission wants to delve into that right now. I can also share that our annual meetings from maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we had a presenter on that exact topic. Happy to some stuff that the commission is doing. So I'm happy to share separately on that. And annual meeting, I think it is something that we 3 or 4 years ago, we had a presenter on that exact topic. Happy to
Thank you.
stuff that the commission is doing. So I'm happy to share separately on that. And annual meeting, I think it is something that we 3 or 4
Thank you, everybody, for your input on the
Thank you.
hopefully you guys can get it together and work something out. But thank you, everybody, for you to get these letters sent and get some support. Hopefully you guys can get it together and work something out. But thank you, everybody, for in February, we discussed the cigarette tax issue. I guess we need some Patrick, we need some direction, I think, from the commission if there is any tax issue. You want to give your thoughts here?
Right, yeah. And I know several of you, Mr. Crozier, prior to the meeting, sharing that it was discussed in Orange County, and I know Madison County had Portage into last night. So what was included in your packet was just the very brief summary memo of that was developed together with the Portage into last night, relating to implementation or what was needed for a regional cigarette tax kind of program or an original cigarette tax board. I think what I've seen, and again in conversations with some of you, is that my primary goal and what I took from the commission in February was if there's a reason for our organization to fill that role, then we're certainly happy to do that. My primary goal was I took the commission take on that role. If there's a reason, I also know that subsequently to that time in February, there's been outreach from our PDC to South and Thomas Jefferson Plan District Commission to not only their jurisdictions but also jurisdictions that were adjacent to theirs, so Orange and Madison, so that the counties over the valleys and not only their jurisdictions also in other places. And then obviously we also talked about the presence of the Northern Virginia cigarette tax board and the county also that option. So I think at this point, I mean, I don't know if there's any action to be taken, but I guess obviously we also encourage that discussion from February to continue. And then also encourage if there is a role for the, I think at this point, I mean, staff would be given that guidance, and if not, just make sure that everybody feels like they have another option, and then also encourage if there is a base of issues. So I guess that's sort of the status update from my perspective. We certainly welcome, any of your local jurisdictions have in the discussion or have their way in there. So I guess that's sort of the status update from my perspective. We certainly welcome, any of your local jurisdictions have in the discussion.
Yeah, hey, Patrick, Jim Crozier. I was wondering, I know that some of the towns have varying tax rates that they're using. The discussion at our board meeting was a couple of the board members were more concerned about having equal tax. Discussion at our board meeting was, which I don't think is necessarily a big concern after the discussion we had, but equal tax. What is your feeling? Which I don't is think it is something that you think our commission should stand up, or would we be just as well served to either go with Northern Virginia is it something that you think our Charlottesville should stand up, or would we be just as well served?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, and I think that the equal tax thing certainly came up in the preliminary discussions. I think the general thought was, at minimum, a regional board administrates would not turn into low any of these towns. Would like to give it the higher general thought was, or just at minimum allow these towns to reach their administrates either raise their rates of those towns or keep their rates at the rate they currently were. In terms of, my opinion only is that I think there's definitely a reason for, the more jurisdiction you have, the better off you will be. So I think, my opinion only is that Warrenton are part of the Northern Virginia board. More jurisdiction, obviously, the more better on the off here, but potentially that makes sense to off here, if they're able to join that board. So then you get into a question of, well, if you have more counties, that makes sense to help out for Rappahannock. Is there enough revenue to make it, worthwhile? So then you get into at this level, or does it make more sense for the counties to join a larger, if they're also making up with 10 or 12, arguably that's probably a better payoff for each county versus revenue generation versus total margin cost. So I think where I'm sort of at this point, feeling like, again, I'm happy to do it, but arguably there's probably a better economic argument for some of our counties. I think where I'm sort of at this point, feeling like, again, I'm happy to do it, but arguably that would really be a better economic argument for some of our counties. I think where I'm sort of at this point.
Maybe I can add, back, and I was one of the ringleaders in trying to get Patrick involved in studying this, but 6 months ago, we were still planning at what was possible and what was not. And thinking for a small locality, we didn't want to get into the business themselves. We were still planning on these regional what was possible and compacts. And so that was clearly the way to go for a smaller locality. The idea at that time was that this could be a revenue source for UVC, but I would think just offhand, and there's no ill will towards the folks in Fauquier, but if we lose Fauquier for Rappahannock-Rapidan mission, no ill will being a provider, then certainly we've lost some element of critical mass and efficiency that. So that's going to be maybe the big driver in my mind in terms of whether this organization goes that way. Yeah, we're not stuck with anybody maybe comes to in my mind in terms of whether this organization running a service for Madison County. We'd rather have somebody local than Northern Virginia, but if Northern Virginia is the last man standing, running a service for that county. So, I'd be interested in knowing what the status is in Fauquier County.
We are hoping to have a work session with our board of supervisors at their May meeting regarding the cigarette tax. Hoping not only that, but also other taxes, the meals tax and the emissions tax, to see if they have any appetite for any one of the three. I will say that initial conversations on the cigarette tax lead me to believe that they're more likely to agree to that will say potential appeals and actual conversation. So I hope to be able to report after that meeting that May which way my board is leaning as a board. So I hope in regards to that report, we've been very open with them about the concept that there are potentially two ways to go regarding the regional group. One would be we've been very open with them about he wanted a group and we might be able to go that way, or also if that were not to work out, or even if he wanted a group and economically that was able to go with Northern Virginia, we'll look at that also. We're mindful of the fact that the town of Warrenton is in Northern Virginia group. So there does seem to be some sort of feeling that may be a way to go. But having said that, we're still looking, and my board hasn't really taken a position yet. Hopefully by the second week of May, I'll be able to give a better, still looking, and my board hasn't really taken a position, more informed statement about where my board is on this task. More informed statement about where my board is on this task.
Sounds like, considering what Mr. Hobbs was saying, Fauquier's going to be the maybe sounds like determinator of Fauquier's which way to go. Maybe updated May is certainly sounds like determinator next week. Anybody have any other thoughts on which way to go? Not an easy updated May. It's not an easy answer. Anybody have any other thoughts?
I think the Fauquier decision is going to be a definite driver, because we would lose some critical mass, and I believe it would be more of a burden. Going to be a definite driver, because the commission to do it would lose some critical mass, and we may. So I look forward to an update regarding what Fauquier does.
Yeah, I think
I look forward to an update regarding
closing off the discussion at all. Sort of wanted to make sure that everybody were willing, and I think that they can also closing off the discussion at all. Sort of wanted to make sure that everybody were willing.
And from Warrenton's perspective, we are perfectly happy to work on a regional collaboration. And that's something that we would participate in. I haven't gotten any negative feedback from the council on that. I just want to ensure that there's not a lot of changes for us. The only feedback I got from staff was just a little bit about the enforcement. They were fine with the administration side and how that would work, but how would we potentially handle a situation where we have an enforcement component where there's something we've identified we need to investigate? How would that work? So that was their only main question for that. But we do have a really good working relationship with the Northern Virginia board. It's really easy. It's very efficient. So maybe we can just get them to change their name. I don't know. So we don't like the name of it, but they do a great job. And so I'm still happy to share any of those reports with anybody that needs them. And Warrenton remains committed to our region. And you know, if that's the direction you go, I anticipate the council would participate. Warrenton remains committed to our region, and you know, if that's the direction you go, I anticipate the council would participate.
Anyone else?
Committed to our region, and you know.
All right, we'll move on to some new business then. We'll revisit that next time. Back in February, also there was a first reading of an amendment to the bylaws. We'll revisit the past chair as member of the executive. Back in February, also there was a second reading to the bylaws. The commission can take action to amend the chair as member of the executive. Back in February, also there was a second reading.
And if you recall from the February meeting, there was discussion of how to properly reference the past chair and the bylaws, and so what February meeting today. in Article 7, there's an addition of Section 7, which defines the past chair as the immediate past chair of the commission. Our past chair is number 7, there's an addition of the chair of 7 following the end of their term, and only when the past chair of the commission appointed to the commission specified the number 7 of the chair at this point following the end of their term, and then the other mentioned the executive committee where it does reference the inclusion of your past chairman, and also the other past chair that serve as member only when they were past chair specified and also that's sort of where it stands today, and again, I'm happy if there's discussion at the commission to extend that further or to accept it as it stands. That's sort of where it stands today, and again, I'm happy if there's discussion at the commission.
Anyone have anything on this side? Leave it as it is written.
Patrick, I would move to adopt the amendment as it's written.
Second. Motion and second.
I would move to adopt the amendment as it's written.
Well.
Mr. Ashby.
Motion and second.
I would move to adopt the amendment as it's written.
Mayor Kaplan.
Aye.
Mr. Ashby. Mayor Coyne.
Aye.
Mr. Brogan.
Aye.
Mayor Kaplan. Mr. Curry.
Aye.
Mayor Coyne. Neal.
Aye.
Mr. Brogan.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Donovan. Mr. Curry.
Aye.
Mr. Edgerton.
Aye.
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 Mr. Hyden. Mr. Donovan.
Aye.
Mr. Hobbs.
Aye.
Mayor
Aye.
LaPointe.
Aye.
Mr. Hyden.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. McCullough.
Aye.
Mayor Roby. Mayor
Aye.
Mr. Schaefer.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. McCullough.
Aye.
Aye. Mayor Roby. Mr. Voorhees.
Aye.
Mr. Schaefer. And Mr. Woods.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Voorhees.
Aye.
Then on to item 11B, which is the annual rural transportation work program grant. The request to VDOT staff is requesting approval of the annual work program along with options of the resolution program in your packet. Request at the VDOT staff is requesting about that as well.
Yeah, just real briefly, Matthew Decatur and I worked with the Rural Transportation Committee and our VDOT Clipper District staff partners to develop this work program. We've gotten into a pretty good format, I think, of having some regional projects versus which generally smart scale and system program and application and development and application middle format, I think, but also regional projects, smart scale and additional comments such as the discussion today on registered sharing as well. The long range solicitation plan, some of our other activities like transportation plans today on registered sharing as well. And then we've also gotten into including sort of local planning projects as well. And so what's proposed for this and then we've also gotten into transportation work program is sort of the on-call technical assistance, which is if you've got a comprehensive plan transportation that you want to review getting into transportation, sort of the GIS mapping or just sort of other grant writing systems that we can build towards this grant program. And then we've got 4 projects listed as part of the draft work program. One of which is a sort of carryover FY 2021 projects in town of Washington, kind of sidewalks report. One of which is the state of the current sidewalks as well as the potential next projects within the town of Washington, the sidewalks report that which is in county state of the current sidewalks as well as the requests from actually the town of Culpeper staff, but has also been sort of reviewed with the Rural Transportation Committee, kind of developing a request from actually the town of first, kind of a first barrier smart scale project review tool, just so there's some kind of developing to kind of see if a project before you actually first on the process of first barrier smart scale project, essentially how a project makes score. So we're kind of see if a project before you actually months, 6 to 9 months. We've got a town of Orange, especially John Cooley, the city planner, just a very small entrance border report. So this we've got a town of Orange, especially John Cooley road planner around the food line, just a very small entrance border report. So there's a small border study changes and roads there. And then the last one is growth and accessibility planning technical assistance program. So there was a successful application to the Office of Intermodal Planning and Investment for a small area planning program. homeowners is successful implementation of our staff has been planning and investing for their small areas consulting through like that's really one that will kind of guide some of our staff into future transportation network in that area between around 15 and 29 now one that will guide on the eastern side of the transportation network in that area where the new county technical education center on the eastern side of the area as well. So those are the projects there. As I do every year with this funding source, it's a funding source that's pretty flexible for us. That's really so. Those are the projects there. As I transportation every year with this funding source, it's a funding kind of build towards the for us. That's really cool as well. Those are the projects here. As I transportation every year with this funding source, it's a funding kind of build towards. Again, happy to answer questions as well. Again, happy to answer questions as well. Ambient noise.
Okay. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Patrick, I've been looking at these things for many years, and I don't see a budget chart on this edition. Are you looking at these things for many years, or is it doing a general language kind of thing this year?
Right. No, I mean, there's no. I mean, the budget is not included there. It's the number has been 58,000 from the state, and then we're down to 20%. Right. No, I mean, there's no. I mean, the budget doesn't have the number, although we are now from the state. Myself and other EDC executive directors like that doesn't have the cost, although we are that number. Myself and other EDC executive directors like
okay, so I'm just used to seeing the summary budget. No problem here. Be glad to move approval if you're looking for that. I'm just used to seeing the summary budget. No problem here. Be glad to move approval if you're looking for that. I'm just used to seeing the
second, Gary.
No problem here.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
Glad to move approval if you're looking for that.
Second, Gary.
Motion and second.
Mr.
Any further discussion?
Mayor Conlon.
Second.
Sorry, aye.
Mr. Ashton. Mayor Pointer.
Aye.
Mayor Conlon. Mr. Persian.
Aye. Sorry, aye.
Aye.
Mayor Pointer.
Aye.
Mayor Conlon. Mr.
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. Garland.
Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Edwards. Mayor Pointer.
Aye.
Mr. Hyde.
Aye.
Ms. Garland. Mr. Howard.
Aye.
Mayor Levine. Mr. Hyde.
Aye. Aye.
Mr. McCullough. Mr. Howard.
Aye.
Mayor Levine. Mr. Hyde.
Aye.
Mayor Rubin.
Aye.
Mr. McCullough.
Aye.
Ms. Schaefer.
Aye.
Mayor Levine. Ms. Taylor.
Aye.
Mayor Rubin. Ms. Voorhees.
Aye.
Mr. Schaefer.
Aye.
Mayor Levine. Ms. Taylor. Aye. Mayor Rubin. Ms. Voorhees.
Up to this next item, we have to go way back to the
Aye.
Commission approved the farm to school liaison position last February, which was later placed on hold. Of course, we have to go way back to the staff commission requesting approval for the position to support the farm to school and local food promotion in school, which will support each school system in the region with technical assistance based on their identified needs. Patrick and Michelle, which will support each school system in the region with technical assistance.
Yeah, I'll give a brief introduction, and certainly if there's questions, Michelle probably the best place to answer this. But as Chair Taylor said, it's a position that we discussed last February prior to the pandemic. Commission was at that point pending our abilities to receive the funding from position we discussed last February prior to Path Foundation and No Kid Hungry. Both of those organizations have been contacted them over the course of the year, as well as with the Path Foundation and each of the 5 school systems. Both of those organizations, both funders continue to be very excited and willing to fund each edition at 80% cost. We have funders and commission continue to be very nutrition directors, I think, are at a point where they are all still in support of this. I think there's funders and light up here. Directors, I think, are at a point where they the things they had to do in the past year to continue their school nutrition programs. So we feel like it's a good opportunity, and one of the things they had called for in the farm plan does have the support of the council as well. So we feel like it's Michelle, if I missed anything, I certainly give you an opportunity to fill in there. Does have the support of the council.
I'll just say that a couple months ago I had a Zoom meeting with all of the schools, and they were the ones that elected to move forward with this and thought that they could meet all the grant deliverables as they were the ones that elected to move forward with this. The only stipulation is that some of the in-person deliverables may need to be virtual. The only stipulation presentations to the classrooms and things of that nature, but mostly they could do the deliverables as a virtual. The only stipulation presentations to the classrooms and things of that nature,
Anyone have any questions?
mostly they could do the deliverables as a virtual. The only stipulation presentations to the
The
classrooms.
requested action is a motion to provide approval of the farm to school liaison position description and work with partner funding organizations. The requested action is agreement for candidate of the farm to school liaison position description and work with partner funding organizations.
Happy to move approval. Gary Curry.
Second.
Motion and a second. I don't.
Happy to move approval. Gary Curry.
Any further discussion? Motion and a second. I don't.
Happy to move approval. Gary Curry.
Any further discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second for the position. All those in favor? Obviously aye. Any further discussion?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Obviously aye. Any further discussion? Anyone opposed? And next up, staff on behalf of the Regional Transportation Collaborative are requesting approval of the grant application for the AARC. And next up, staff on behalf of the Regional Transportation.
Yeah, I mean, the memo that was included really outlines, this is, again, the Regional Transportation Collaborative is thrown out because there is, yeah, I mean, the memo that, you know, really are looking for a way to be creative with trying to attract volunteer drivers and raise awareness of volunteer driving programs. You know, really are looking for a way to be creative. There's a grant application for the AARC Challenge Grant. This is really driven, you know, kind of short-term, you know, creative marketing, grant application, creative marketing opportunities. So, what's being proposed through the grant is development of kind of a creative logo that, you know, for a trusted community partner logo, what would, you know, convey some level of, you know, partnership with you and a trusted word for them that they are partnering with Regional Transportation Collaborative. And that would also include, you know, some potential money for branding items to not only, you know, use that logo, but also just be used. And that would also drive our program to say, seek to again grow the branding and drive but also the awareness of the program, but also the, and that would also drive our ability for people to access again, grow the branding and drive for themselves. That's really what it would be for. There's no match required. It's a $25,000 request. There's potential that if it was awarded, it could be. That's really what it would be for. There's no match already put together. There's contingency plans if it was a low award. There's potential that if it was awarded, it could be items that would be requested. So already put together. Yeah, again, no match, which is always my favorite potential.
Absolutely. Certainly, take whatever.
Yeah, again, no match.
Hopefully, they will come through with the full 25,000. Absolutely. Anybody have any comments? Certainly, take whatever. Like to make a motion. Hopefully, they will come through with the full 25,000. Absolutely. Anybody have any comments? Certainly.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second, and on this, anybody have vote together?
So move.
All those in favor?
Second.
By saying aye. Motion and a second.
Aye. Aye.
Vote together. Any opposed? All those in favor?
Second.
By saying aye. Last but not least, I think we wanted to talk about hopefully being able to do this in person. Last but not least, I think we've been able to muddle through this way via Zoom. I think a lot of us are looking forward to getting back to we've been able to muddle through this style via Zoom. I think a lot of us are welcome everybody's thoughts, ideas, suggestions.
Have we done it yet? I'm ready, believe me. And if we can't do it at the commission office, if that does not work, I will volunteer the Orange County Airport, which has a very large room that everyone can meet in. If that does not work, I will volunteer the Orange County Airport, which has
I think we definitely this room at present, the way things stand, I don't think we'll be able to accommodate all of this. current safety rules. Certainly ideas for elsewhere would be welcome. The airport's one.
And we do have the Zoom meeting capability here as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We do have
the Schaefer had offered the Zoom meeting capability. Probably by the time we get there, won't be so new, but certainly we do the some of you that we do there. So the Schaefer, we've got a definitely Zoom meeting capability. Probably by the time we get there. I appreciate that too, Mr. Frazier, about the Zoom meeting that I think they will be to make that option available in those cases like something more. I appreciate that too, Mr. Frazier. Yeah, but certainly Zoom, from my perspective, we will be looking that up to make that option available. And in-person meetings for Zoom is something more. I appreciate that too, Mr. Frazier. Yeah, but certainly Zoom, from my perspective, we will be looking that up to make that option available. And in-person meetings for Zoom.
I assume we still have, they would still be set up for people who can't make it in person. I'm hoping, I assume most folks still have a bag, so they would still be set up for people who can't make it in person.
And if you, I guess I would say too, if you, for some reason you aren't comfortable, then feel free to let me know, or Chair Taylor as well. And if you, I guess I would say too, if you, for some reason you aren't comfortable, then feel free.
From my end, I certainly don't mind a hybrid approach where if we have a large enough space, people can participate in person if they choose to do so, as long as that space has Zoom capabilities. So those people who are either unable to make it or not comfortable have the ability to participate by Zoom. Those people who are either unable to make
absolutely.
it or
we wholeheartedly
have the ability to participate by Zoom.
Zoom and do this, I guess. Anyone else who has any suggestions for the location, make it work for Zoom and do this. Anyone else who has any suggestions for the location?
Perhaps Patrick could work with Brandy and Jim and other people who believe they've got a facility large enough, including perhaps Brandy and Jim and other people who believe they've got a Germanic Community College, which is sort of a midpoint for everyone, I suspect. Whether they've got their large room available also, which is sort of a midpoint. Put together a proposed schedule where you would hold these meetings. Their large room available also, which is sort of a midpoint. Put together
excellent idea.
Schedule where you would hold these meetings. A large room
we are still happy to host.
Excellent idea.
And I also am happy to travel. I think when we first talked about it coming out of the pandemic, we thought it might be nice to try some larger spaces around the area and also maybe spend a little bit more time in the jurisdiction for the day checking things out. So I agree with Paul and everyone else, maybe developing a list and giving us a series of options in the next few months would be great. I agree with Paul and everyone else, maybe developing a list and giving us a series of options in the next few months.
Next up, I guess, is the regional roundtable. What's going on every year. So, Patrick, next up, I guess,
right. Yeah. Why don't we start? Typically, north to south. It's, I always had fair pointers here, but why don't we start? Why don't we start at the south? So fair pointers.
Well, I will, Patrick, and let me make sure if I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. Good. Okay. I didn't want to talk to myself. Patrick, and well, some news in Gordonsville. We've gotten almost $2 million in grants for the Gordonsville Airport, runway and taxiway renovations. We're in the process, also in the process of renovating our more than 100-year-old hangar, which puts back to the earliest days of aviation at Langley, circa 1917 or 18, and it was moved and reassembled in Gordonsville in 1933. So it's a historic airport overall because it's one of the older airports being developed in the early 30s. But also the building itself is over 100 years old. So and also on our airport properties are recently purchased and renovated 27,000 square feet public works and commercial space building. Item 2, we have a new industry not ready to announce yet, but it looks like it's going to really help our budget. Item 3, Ice House Brewery, opening May 14th, downtown. This also includes Craig Hartman of Barbecue Exchange fame, because he'll be reestablishing Gordonsville's fried chicken legacy with his amazing fried chicken at Ice House. And that'll be available for takeout as well as Ice House patrons. Item 4, over $500,000 in grants and contributions to new sidewalks around the elementary school in Gordonsville, Gordon Barber Elementary. Item 5, our 1840 train depot renovation has been finalized in the past month, Gordon Barber Elementary. And item 6, we're continuing to work to develop a park, which will run several blocks through the core of Gordonsville, from the current Burling Park and Dick's Memorial Pool, which will run to the Gordonsville Fire Company Fairgrounds 2 blocks away. 4 properties have been obtained in the past 2 years. 2 by the Piedmont Environmental Council as part of their Parks and Trails program, connecting the 2 parks, and 2 by the town to enlarge Burling Park. So we have a lot going on in Gordonsville, connecting the 2 parks, and 2 by the town to enlarge Burling Park. So we have
Mr. Crozier.
I will actually defer to Mr. Voorhees, considering the last meeting I was talking about internet, and embarrassingly lost my internet as I was speaking about it. So I'm not going to cancel two months in a row. So I'll embarrass Mr. Voorhees. Lost my internet as I was speaking about it. So I'm not going to cancel.
I'm just kidding. I'm not muted. I just thought that would be funny.
You tricked me.
As I was speaking about it.
So speaking of internet, I'll just thought that would be funny. Say what maybe I thought Jim was trying to say. So we're hooking folks up with fiber here. FiberLink is Jim was trying to say daily adding customers. So we're hooking folks up with fiber here. We probably ought to put a scoreboard up on our website, adding customers, and ring a bell or something each time someone gets connected. Put a scoreboard up on our website. Not to brag or anything, because that'll come back to bite us. But I think we read that Albemarle County was establishing some sort of an effort to extend into the unserved areas, and so it's a little bit fun being the smaller neighbor to our large cousin Albemarle, and have them being still sort of suffering through this challenge, and us having customers signed up every day. So that's pretty exciting for us. We're holding our breath that things will keep going well, but customers signed up every day. So that's pretty exciting for us. It's a great story, and we're holding our breath. A small part of it keep going well. And in fact, Jim Crozier is actually seeing the fiber installation on his road. I believe it's going right by his house, so he'll be able to no longer have to pretend his internet's out to sneak away from this meeting. Right by his house. A couple other little things. Mayor Pointer mentioned some park things. We got some park things going to Unionville Park is a new park in Orange. We're putting the fencing and signage up and hope to have that up and open to the public within a couple of weeks. Barbersville Park was refurbished, new play equipment. A lot of assistance there from our community service folks at the Central Virginia Regional Jail, and that was opened last month. And then we're raising funds to put a dog park in to add to the existing booster park amenities. So that's a lot of fun. If you want to buy a T-shirt to help raise funds for it, they're available for sale. Buy a shirt, build a park. If you want to buy a T-shirt to help raise. And then that's next door to our public safety building, which has really been delayed. But we're crossing our fingers that we'll be able to move in there. That's next door to our sort of July time frame. We also have been delayed on our public safety radio project, but good news, permits have been issued for the final tower, which is now moving forward with construction. It's also in the Barbersville area, and once that gets up and final revision, we'll be testing this summer to go live at the end of the summer. And then the last thing, the largest rezoning application in the history of Orange County came in last month. It's called Wilderness Crossing. thing. It has its own website. It may have its own zip code when it's all done. It'll be probably larger than Lake of the Woods. And it's a big mixed-use project between Route 3 and the Rappahannock River. So look for us to be consumed with planning and review to try to make that an enhancement to our community. Consumed with planning and review to try to make that an enhancement to our community. Consumed with planning and review to try to make that.
I have a couple of things, and I'm sure Greg has some more things to add to it. One thing we're doing is we're in the final stages of our Main Street enhancement program. Our town planner is working with the construction crew and getting finalized things that need to be taken care of before the project is closed out. We're happy to see this being done. It really does give a good safety perspective for the citizens. Excellent lights, sidewalks, safer sidewalks, more ADA accessible areas on the sidewalk, and we're very proud of that because that's one of the things we want to focus on was safety for our pedestrians in town. The other thing is we have the town of Orange and town council have been working with the African American Historical Society, and we are working with them and helping them place interpretive panels in our town regarding the history of the African American businesses and their importance to the town of Orange. The African American Historical Society is developing these panels, and they will be placed in an area near Church Street and Chapman Street in the town of Orange. We're very excited to have this project come in, and we think it'll be something that people will enjoy. So those are a couple of things, and I'll refer to Greg Woods this time. So those are a couple of things, and I'll refer to
Patrick, if that's all right. Yeah. I would say what Mayor Roby was talking about with the streetscape project. Construction is complete. I would say it is not a fun project at best, but it does finish our iced tea money up that we've had for 22 years. So now we can actually move on and do something. That's been holding us up. Our iced tea money up that we've had for 22 years. Currently, now we can actually move. When we mentioned about the revenue sharing, what we've decided to do is move our money from revenue sharing or our match to do some roads that we can't include in revenue sharing. These always kind of get left behind. From revenue sharing or our match. We're trying to get the matching funds. So that's where we're moving our revenue sharing match to at this point in time. But I would be very happy to get revenue back, revenue sharing back in 2024-25. We are also in the process of engineering several water projects, if you will. One being converting the wastewater plant or the water treatment facility to liquid feed, chemical feed, or dry chemical feed. That one we may be able to get accomplished hopefully within the next year. And we're also beginning the engineering for replacement of the standpipe. Our standpipe is roughly 110 years old. We're not going to be able to keep it standing another decade. So we're in the process of replacing that. Our cell tower, which has been installed, I saw the other day that they actually run wire to it, but it's still not active. Not sure when that will be. The Dunkin' Donuts store that opened up, well, it's not even open, it's finished, but not sure. I assume they're going to open it up pretty soon. The Dunkin' Donuts store that opened up, that's all past open, it's finished, but
thank you.
I assume they're going to open it up.
Let's see, Mayor Lamar, County Madison.
That's all past open.
Not much different going on here right now. Kind of stagnant.
Mr. Thomas?
Not much different going on here right now.
Yeah, we got several things going on. A couple old, one or two current, and a couple new. But
not much
we are in the final phases of our primary school renovation project, and that's been very successful. We're also about halfway through the county administration renovation project. So they've moved my office down the hill in temporary quarters while we get the asbestos out of the old building and begin renovating for the Board of Supervisors. So we expect to be able to move back into that by the end of June. So it's what a year to renovate to that. Something current, the board adopted its budget yesterday evening. We have a 3-cent real estate tax increase, and a lot of our budget this year is funded with fund balance money. So we are underwater, but and it'll be several years before we get dug out of that. So that's where that is. The most exciting thing we have right now is the folks from Central Virginia Electric Co-op have jumped outside their service area and want to talk to us about being partners for their firefly service. And if this comes to pass, this could put fiber to the home throughout Madison County, and somebody else will be carrying the ball. So my hat's off to folks in Orange and other parts of the world for doing all the legwork, but my hat's off to these guys come and do it. Might need a little funding from us, but if you're carrying the ball, that's a very good fit with what Madison has going on. So that's the most exciting thing we have right now. On another note, I am in need of an interim finance director. So if anybody, an individual that might be interested in such work, either an employee or contract, please ask them to send us a statement of interest. We'll start looking through the stack of those on Monday, probably. Appreciate any help anybody can send us. That's what I had, Patrick. Looking through the stack of those on Monday, probably.
Mr. Deal?
Patrick, I'll go ahead and we have a lot of things going on in Culpeper, but I'll go ahead and defer to John on this, John Eggerson. Patrick, I'll go ahead and we have a lot of things going on in Culpeper, but I'll go ahead and defer to John.
Well, our budget is inching to its finish line. We expect to see that adopted on Tuesday, and assuming all goes as planned, we do have some pretty exciting projects embedded within that budget. Tuesday, and a couple I would mention, these projects are we're anticipating putting up a new field house at our Culpeper Sports Complex. That will be a location of our Parks and Rec department and our Parks and Rec programs, gymnasium, etc. So we're really excited about that location, and also lighting the fields at the sports complex. Programs, gymnasium, huge demand for our fields out there, and if we can get them lit, also expand the useful time of them. So there's a couple big projects in that budget, so I'm looking forward to Tuesday on that. The useful time of them. Did invite Patrick. Patrick, appreciate your willingness to come. He's going to come Tuesday and talk to us about that redistricting quagmire that everybody's in. Appreciate your willingness. I know there's a lot of information to share on that, so I just want to try to give our board an update there. Quagmire. Thanks for your willingness to do that, Patrick. There's a lot of information to share on that, so I just want to. We're looking at the cigarette tax and the meals tax, hopefully at our next rules committee meeting. So I guess stay tuned for more on that discussion, but I think both of those might be very worth pursuing. And stay tuned. Finally, our C-Tech school is very near completion. It's fantastic, very worth pursuing, and it will be opening this fall. Our C-Tech full programming, so pretty excited about the career and technical. I think those are the highlights for Culpeper County programming, so pretty excited about
the one thing I like to add, Patrick, is amazingly we've been looking back as far as our real estate tax rates. The one thing I like to add, over the last 30 years and further, we've been looking back. John cannot find our real estate tax rates over those years to where we've been at 55 cents per $100 of assessed value, and it looks like it's where we're going to be with the upcoming tax rate, which is unbelievable. And it looks like it's where we're going to be. Yeah, we're all very proud of that, which is unbelievable.
Thank you both. Yeah, Mr. Ashby.
Yeah, we're all very proud.
Good to see you from Remington. You got any updates to share with us? Thank you both.
No, sir, not really. We're
Good to see you from Remington. You got any updates to share with us?
working through our usual traffic as far as what we're taking care of in town. I don't really have what we're taking care of. New update. We're just continuing to do the business that we had previously started and do not have any earth-shaking news for you at this time.
Great to see you anyway.
You're welcome, sir. News for you at this time.
Great to see you anyway.
You're welcome, sir.
Sorry, we had to turn the mute off. Yeah, we're sort of slogging along up here. The one issue that we're sort of beginning to look at is we've seen a distinct drop off in the number of people using our vaccination clinic. So we're beginning to study what that means. We will probably advertise a couple of walk-in clinics to see whether we can generate more interest that way. But if we continue to see this drop off, we'll have to figure out in conjunction with the hospital where we're going with this and whether we see this drop off. Think about closing down the vaccination clinic. We're going with this and whether what happens then. So think about closing down the vaccination. I think a lot of people are experiencing that also. So we'll see where that goes. That's sort of the biggest thing that I think a lot of people are now. And as I said before, we're hoping to go to the board in May with a work session on cigarette tax, meals tax, and emissions tax to see what their numbers are on those. That's all I got. Cigarette tax, meals tax, and emissions tax.
Good recognizing there by accident. So Ms. Donahue.
That's all I got. Cigarette tax, meals tax.
Thank you very much. At this point, we're excited that tourism is increasing. And Shenandoah National Park is definitely getting a lot of business right now, which is great. Tourism has come through Rappahannock County and hopefully stop and enjoy some of our restaurants or lodging. Monday, we approved our budget with no tax increase. Very happy to be able to say that. And we also have a broadband authority that was recently created. And we reached out to DHCD and Dr. Holmes spoke to us on Monday, and we're going to move forward with trying to get help from them and determine partnerships so that we can actually apply for a batting grant. And Mr. Curry, I'm sure I've forgotten something. Partnerships.
Happy to layer a couple things on in that budget. As you noted, no tax increase, but we are planning having a public hearing on Monday to increase the transient occupancy tax from 2 to 4%. No tax increase as a way to help bring a little bit more revenue in for tourism. Tax from 2 to 4%. We also included for the first time bring a little bit more funding for paid EMTs, which first time dipping our toe in that water in this locality. We've been 100% volunteer up till now. That'll be an interesting process to work through. I've been fortunate to fill a few big vacancies. DSS director and our emergency services coordinator who will be starting shortly. I've been fortunate to fill a few big vacancies. We've managed to get an award for a generator for our permanent shelter. Also happens to be our high school. We're excited to get on that project. We've managed to Ted's point, we also have had our largest rezoning in history that is before us right now. It's 13 lots, and maybe too much development for Rappahannock before us right now. It's 13 lots, and maybe too much.
I'm sure it will be probably discussed similar to how much Orange is before us right now. It's 13 lots. Mayor Catlin. I'm sure it will be probably discussed similar to how much Orange.
Good afternoon. So
because I'm mayor of a small town, I actually have a regular business, which is I run a school and I have a classroom of 3 to 6 year olds. So I have been giving several lessons while I've been listening to all the august comments of my colleagues. For a little town, we've got a lot of exciting things going on. The post office is under roof now. For a little town, we've got a hopefully this week they'll start putting the brakes on. They have June 1st opening, but I suspect that'll probably be more like July 1st. We also have had applications for a new mini conference center to serve our bed and breakfast. We also have had applications for a new person who is interested in there is also maybe interested in doing a WeWorks kind of arrangement in the facility. And then last Friday we received an application for the Rush River Commons, which will be a multi-use. And then last Friday we received an application activity on town property that will have a number of housing opportunities, as well as a permanent location for the county, for the Rappahannock Food Pantry, as well as some commercial space for nonprofits and for-profits. Food Pantry, as well as some. There is a commercial space under consideration with the county. There is an application in there for a boundary line adjustment. There is a, so we are already having informal conversations with the county, and that may go farther for an additional piece of that same property to be part of the town. We also received great news last week that the Inn at Little Washington renewed 3-star rating from Michelin. Received a Green Star, which is, I guess, a new designation they give for an entity that is socially and ecologically conscious. And the Inn is hoping to open a restaurant, a much more downscale restaurant plus a patisserie in the old post office, and they're hoping that will open in June. That will be called Patio. So, if you happen to see yours truly waddling down the street, it's because I have frequented that patisserie way too often and had too many of its products. Yours truly the report from Washington. It's because I have frequented that patisserie way too often and had too many of its products.
All of you are doing such great things. I'm like, what can I make up real quick? I love hearing everything you're doing. A lot of business issues. I'm like, what can I make up real quick? I'm looking at my list real quick. We are working on the Broadview project. That's been an ongoing project for us, and I wanted to share with all of you, as we've seen the crazy real estate market that is really impacting our projects and tiny slivers of land acquisition for right-of-way. VDOT came back the other day. They're about $1 million over budget on an $8 million project and said we have to pick up all of that. So working through that with them right now as well, and how we're going to address that. We got our comp plan adopted, so that was a big endeavor for the town, something we've been working on for 5 years and had pretty extensive outreach, as well as corresponding documents that were adopted in conjunction. So that is finally behind us, and council is excited to start to look at some of the zoning changes associated with that comp plan. So that is, we are undertaking a utility rate study this year and also examining an abatement program as part of that. So that is something we are kicking off right now that will go through the next 4 to 5 months. And we have also been focusing quite a bit on affordable housing and what we can do here in Warrenton, building off the study that PD9 had initiated and we worked with all of you on. So we're kind of trying to take that to the next level, and council looking at the study that PD9 housing committee, and we had a call with Culpepper the other day. So that's kind of mainly where we're focused right now, just getting ready for spring. We're definitely moving forward with our Parker program, and we will be putting, I think, a total of 27 parklets out this year. So we're in the final stages of getting that done, having them out by May 7th. So what is going on in Warrenton. So we're in the final stages of getting that done, having them out by May 7th. So that is what is going on in Warrenton. So we're in the final stages.
He's still there.
All right.
Sure. We had a real good day yesterday at our park, at Rockwater Park. We had a ribbon cutting for a new playground that was partially funded from our Culpeper Wellness Foundation. We partnered with them on that, and we were also able to open the splash pad thanks to the governor finally coming to his senses and realizing that splash pads aren't the horrible thing the governor spreading COVID. So it was nice seeing those kids out there and enjoying that playground. It's a good example of build it and they will come. So now we're enjoying that playground quick as we can. We're going to try to build a new trailhead, and they will parking, so we can try to catch up with the demand that we're seeing at that park. We're going to try to build a new trailhead, increase significantly over the last few years that park has been there. Council also set a very exciting and lofty goal this past month of constructing the pedestrian bridge crossing of the railroad at the depot, coupled with a new municipal parking lot, bridge crossing Memorial Park, and an aquatic center at that location. And to be able to fund that aquatic center once it's built, and an aquatic center at that location debt free, the general fund be debt free, so we can take some of the monies that's currently being used annually to pay the general fund debt service to help cover those operating costs for the pool. So I think it's going to be a very exciting project and a good challenge for us to try to figure out how to make all of those goals come together at the same time. And a good challenge. Very exciting, and figure out how to find a way to do that. Have to figure out this time. And very exciting. That's kind of the things I had on my list. How to find a way to do that. Have to figure out this time.
I threw it to quietly because those are basically the things I was going to talk about as well. I think the most exciting thing that's happening with us is that splash pad reopening. I encourage anybody, if there's any possible way to do a similar thing in your area, do the splash pad and make your citizens so happy. Anybody, if there's any possible way to do a similar thing in your area, but overall, I'm really excited to hear about what everybody's got going on. The parklets, the documents looking at African American history. I'm really excited to hear about trying to do a similar thing in our town. I just think it's terrific what everybody's doing, and pandemic restrictions lifting a little bit and everybody being out, and encourage all of us to mingle around in one another's pandemics and see what restrictions lifting a little bit and everybody being out. All of us to mingle around in one another's pandemics. Anyway, that's all that I have. Glad to hear from everybody. Anyway,
Megan?
Yes.
I was muted earlier and my response was missed. I just wanted to thank you for your kind words. Top of the meeting. I was muted earlier and
certainly.
My response was missed. I just wanted to thank you for your kind words.
And hopefully we will be able to thank you in person next time.
I just want to thank you for your kind words.
Anyone have anything else? If not, we'll need a motion to adjourn. First, go out and enjoy this wonderful day. Anyone have anything else?
Moved.
If not, we'll need a motion to adjourn. First, go out and enjoy this. All right. We are adjourned, everyone. Thank you very much.
Moved.
Thanks, everybody.
Good day, all.
We are adjourned, everyone. Thank you very much.